Breathe in. Breathe out. Hello, 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 and welcome back to another episode of Today's Weather Tonight. Here, as always, I am your meteorologist for the evening, Cloud Hudson, and I am here with you for a very special edition of the episode. A very special edition of Today's Weather Tonight. It's the Easter episode. Yay! Hallelujah! Praise be. He is risen indeed. He is risen. Can I get a "He is risen indeed" in the chat? Okay. Hi, hello. Do you believe in resurrection? I do. Not gonna lie. Oh, okay. Encoding overload. To consider turning the volume down. Okay, I'll turn the volume down a little bit. How's that? I'm gonna be a little emphatic tonight. So okay, whatever. I just have deep faith that resurrection is real, and I'm not gonna tell you what I mean by that, but I believe it, and that's all you need to know. All you need to know is that I believe that you can rise up from the depths to ascend to a higher plane. That's all you need to know. Okay. Let's go ahead and get started with today's episode. Let's do a little singing bowl action to get us started. Like my singing bowl, I got it from the Buddhist monks that live in Georgia, the state. This is my little heart chakra bowl. Love it a lot. Means a lot to my heart chakra. Okay, so y'all ever hear the notification for an earthquake while you're doing the singing bowl? That's pretty crazy. That's pretty fun, isn't it? Let's jump into all of today's synergetic alignments. Let's jump into analyzing today's vibrational components, shall we? Let's go ahead and start with earthquakes, since we're already talking about it. We see here on Earthquake 3D that we've had a 4.7 over here in the Philippines earlier today at 5:16 p.m. We had a 5.3 out here in the island, the so-called British Islands. Allegedly, these belong to the British. Okay, I'm not going to go on that rant tonight. Right now. With words. But spiritually, you understand what I'm saying, right? Who owns land? Nobody. Whoever lives there and uses it, that's who. Okay, so we had a 5.3 there at 170 kilometers depth. We had a 5.0 here at 10 kilometers. Over here in the... I don't remember if this is Fiji or Tonga. I think that's in Fiji. We had a series of 2 range earthquakes in Hawaii and only a handful of ones and twos up here in Alaska. Then we had series of tremors all throughout the California area. And again, here in allegedly West Texas, they call it on the USGS service, they call it south of New Mexico because they don't want to report earthquakes in Texas because it would throw off the statistics and make it look like things are more dangerous than they are. Wait, let me go back to making sure that this has all the quakes on for today. Yes, wait, hold on. Okay, because I thought there was another one. There was another one up here at the North Carolina-Georgia border. Shallow quake 2.2 and 1.5 right here in the Southern Appalachians, right in the middle of, like, right near where we had some quakes yesterday. So, interesting breaking point there. I wonder what's going on. We also had many 3.0s here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, like 8 reports of 3 something earthquakes here, all in Puerto Rico, in and around Puerto Rico. So they are getting the brunt of the Caribbean tectonic effects right now. 4.9 off the coast of Guatemala at 35 kilometers depth. We had a 4.4 here in, that's on the coast, so that's in Chile, and that was in 58 kilometers depth. Let's go down to, I don't do this view very much, but looking at the South Pole, we had a 5.6 and a 5.9 here where the, and another 5.9 here where the Antarctic continent, and these are looking very shallow. 5.0 at 0, 10, and 170 kilometers depth. So, or no, 16, 0, and 160. 0, 16, can't click on the other, and 10. 0, 16, and 10 kilometers depths at the three-way plate boundary of the Pacific plate, the Indo-Australian plate, and the Antarctic plate. Those inflection points are important. And yeah, we had several 5s over here in the Papua New Guinea related islands. And well, actually, I'm going to zoom out so we can see the depth. This is the wave-shaped plate boundary here, the crashing wave-shaped, the breaking wave-shaped plate boundary here in the from Vanuatu Islands to Tonga to Fiji area. 4.7s and 5.1 and 5.0s. They range in depth from a 8-kilometer depth to a 538 kilometer depth. So to me, again, that spells that there is vertical motion in and out of the Earth's surface tectonically. Now, speaking of tectonic motion, we did see some 4.9s making their way up the Philippines islands chain. Not quite to Taiwan where I expected the other day, but you know, we don't even see anything from Japan today. So we did see a 5.8 out here in the Aleutian Island chain again. And let's see, another series of 4.0, 4.5, and 5.0s here in, let me try to get right vertical over it. Yeah, right in the Afghanistan, Tajikistan border region, and also down here in, is that in Pakistan, I believe? And I mean, countries are fake, but okay. Here off the coast of is that Cyprus? We've got off of the Italian and Turkish coast. We had a 4.6 at 10 kilometers depth. And there were more in Iceland. Oh, a 4.9 up here at the North Pole. 4.9 at 10 kilometers depth in the islands, what is this even called? Where it's like the gradient, the borderlands between Canada and Greenland here. We had a 4.9 in the North Pole. So we had a earthquake at the North Pole and the South Pole today. So that's fun. Let me see if this will let me do sphere right now. I think I have to be on a different view for that to work better. Which one? Which one lets me do? Okay, yeah. Yeah, there we go. Okay, let's look for opposites. Any opposites? Show hidden. And sphere. No. I'll figure it out one of these days. But yeah, basically on the other side of the world from where there was the 4.9, we had the I'm going to go back to a different view. We had the and this has kicked me back to recent. Go to 24 hours. Okay. 5.6 opposite of these 4.9s. Tons of tremors all throughout California. Look, you can't even see how big the stack is. There's just so many microquakes spreading. Let me take the rings down. Maybe then we can look at this swarm of activity. I think altogether this would be bigger quake, but it's getting dispersed out, thankfully, so that's less destructive. There's also been quite a bit of thunderstorm activity out there in California. Now, I'm not saying that this is causing earthquakes. I just also think that adding a lot of mass in the form of water to the top of a very precariously balanced physical system like the tectonic plates and fault lines could possibly push some things over their threshold of pressure applied to certain areas. Okay, so I guess I am saying that I think that maybe severe rainfall events could lead to changes in the pressure gradient force in the tectonic plates that could lead to shifts in earthquakes. Okay. Let's move on now from my little theories to talk about our volcanoes. Today we had Merapi continue to explode, explosive activity, discrete volcanic eruptions. We had Samiru continuing to explode, Dukono. Popo is not giving any volcanic ash observed. Santiaguito only had sporadic volcanic ash emissions. Fuego had explosive activity. Sangay had explosive activity. Reventador had volcanic emissions likely ongoing, but needs more confirmation. Samancaya continued to explode. And the Barren Island volcano continues to erupt over here in the Indian Ocean, just off the coast of Myanmar wait, no. Not Myanmar. Burma? Hold on. What am I talking about? Myanmar is Burma, right? Damn, I'm dumb. Okay, I'm not dumb. Let's, yeah, Myanmar. Okay, Sumatra, between Sumatra and Burma, Myanmar. Yes, in the Andaman Islands. Okay. It's a caldera floor. It's a good old classic volcano island. Gorgeous kind of evil villain secret lair type of thing. That continues to erupt, and that pushes us to 30 active volcanoes erupting. right now. 30 actively erupting, 19 in warning, 31 in unrest, and 1,376 in normal/dormant stage. Now let's go. Oh man, I'm slouching. I put my camera up higher so that I would sit up higher during the broadcast, and it is not working. I am just slouching the whole time. Okay. Let's go now to look at the atmosphere. Oh, I was using that as a map. Haha. Let's go back. Oh, I clicked out of the window. Okay. Let's go back to the so-called United States. Here we have a storm system, a severe storm system moving through the Midwest from everywhere from Wisconsin to West Virginia. That has been kind of our hotspot of severe weather in this late winter, early spring time. We've got some isolated severe cells moving through the area. Each one of them capable of producing hail. We've got some low-level elevated cape levels, but mostly not looking at enough vertical shear to produce tornadoes. We've only been looking at special weather statements related to severe wind gusts and potential hail, but not even that. We're just looking at very straight line wind type of wind gust activity. And that's right over a stationary front. So that makes a lot of sense of like an east to west stationary front. So that makes a lot of sense of why we would be getting such severe winds. Now, speaking of severe winds, back where that stationary front is being fed by a cold front here, we've got severe risk of, critical and an elevated risks of wildfire in Colorado, New Mexico, Texas, Oklahoma Panhandle, and parts of southwestern Kansas. We are looking at more, I think that this is still technically frozen precipitation up here in the Yellowstone, the Wyoming area, basically. Wyoming and South Dakota is getting in on some of this rainfall, finally. They have been pretty dry up here in the high plains this winter, summer for the southern hemisphere. We're looking at a marginal risk of flooding, I believe. Oh, excessive rainfall risk. In Southern California, the Los Angeles coast, the Tucson, everywhere from Tucson to Blythe and Lake Havasu City, and basically all of this southern Arizona border region that is getting fed with these more Pacific moisture coming in. There is a bit of dry air coming in after this, thank goodness for them, but we are looking at still continued way more rain than they are used to out there in the desert Southwest. Let's look at, let's see what we can see on satellite today. Oh, they don't have, let me go to, I actually want to go to, you know what? No, I don't want to go to that. I want to go to our old friend Pivotal Weather, because I want to look at some of our real-time analysis for today. Yeah. Oh, let me change this. Get it on the page I want first, and then we will switch back to that one. Okay. So let's fix the view on this. Okay. let's go for this was our temperature spread today. This is how things actually shook out. Remember, this is today's weather tonight. I only tell you what actually happened, not any forecasts. I might talk about forecasts, but I'm really here to tell you what happened. And what happened is we had a gorgeous Easter Sunday throughout much of the South. There were a few scattered thunderstorms as you got into the Midwest type South, but really the South had a gorgeous 60s and 70s day, not even too hot. It may be a little hot down here in the flatlands, but not even too hot for Easter. Well, actually, it was close to record high temperatures for March 31st in many places, and that was fed in large part from the high temperatures that we're getting here in Mexico and in the Gulf of Mexico. There's just been, like, the previous El Nino years, 3 in a row, have not sucked off enough of that thermal energy from the Gulf to cool it down efficiently in the wintertime. And so we are now seeing, like, record-breaking water, sea surface, and like sea lower than the surface temperatures, which converts into heating the atmosphere really well, because air wants to cool off, because of the way that evaporation works. Moving over water should want to it should act like a thermal battery, the water, but it is not, because it's already too hot, and you can't cool off air over hot water. You can cool off air over colder water. Does that make sense? Does that make any sense at all? Basically, this bathtub, too hot in this hot tub down here. And that is really spicing up our Easter Sunday. I mean, it was gorgeous. It was more like a nice May 31st than a nice March 31st, but it was pretty anyway. Let's take a look at today's observed precipitation. 24-hour. Looking at mostly Virginia and West Virginia and Southern California. Again, our big winners. Nevada, Arizona, and Southern California getting just walloped by this big atmospheric river event down there. Now, while we are on our browser, let's take a look at our solar weather. We had one big M-class flare today that put us into R1 radio blackout type levels, radio storm radiation levels. We had almost an X-class flare yesterday that was really well into R2 category, but didn't quite break that X ceiling. And just one good M-class flare today. And I think that was from this new region 3625. Let's see. Or exiting region 3625, actually. That is the first. That's one of the biggest we've seen from that one. It's really on its way out. That is interesting. But we have said goodbye to 3615. We are saying goodbye to 3617 and 19 and 3625. It just waved a big goodbye with that parting in 3.91 today. We got high solar wind speed. For those of you who are sensitive to solar wind speed, KP index of 2, so we're not blowing that much with the wind, but we did peak up to 561 kilometers per second here. And we did have a fairly strong southward component to the magnetic field today, so that could have charged up our ionosphere pretty well. Could have been some good coupling for all of the dense charged particles that were streaming from the sun towards our Earth today. Yes, and we are still in a slightly south interplanetary magnetic field, high wind speed, and we had an X-ray flux. Today, this coronal hole has grown in this region of many dimming regions. I'm sorry, have continued to progress. Solar protons are back to normal looking. Let's see. Latest alerts: 3.191 flare, R1 radio blackout in progress. We had active geomagnetic conditions. We reached a KP threshold of 4 today, but that was like at the end of yesterday, like last night. Let's take a look at some of the images. I want to take a look at the one that we can see the black areas forming. Okay, so we see this darkening up. These areas that are rotating away are finally liberated from the pressure of everyone on Earth wanting them to flare, so now they'll flare. This is growing, extending, and we've got more active regions rotating into view soon, but not quite yet. Yeah, you can really see this whole big coronal hole region becoming more and more connected on this one. And you see some of this sparking coming into view. Yeah, once there were a few little launches there, this really lined up well. Let's look at today's CMEs. I don't think we had any partial halo contenders today, and we only had like 5 coronal mass ejections. Only 5. All right. We are in a sun day. We started this broadcast in a sun hour, and we are still barely in a sun hour right now. Sunday, sun hour. How about that, y'all? We've got our moon at the critical degree of 29 degrees of Sagittarius, and that is making a trine to Mercury at 27 degrees of Aries, which is probably why I'm talking so loud and confidently right now. I also, like, my roommates, aka my parents, aren't home right now, so I get to talk as loud as I want, as late as I want. I get very passionate about the weather, and a lot of people don't want to hear me talk about it, so I do censor myself just a touch when other folks are around. But when it's just me and you guys, man, yeah, it's great. Do I worry that there's only one view on here? A little. Do I need money? Yeah, I spent a lot of money on the computer that I'm using to make this broadcast, so I do need to recoup that loss. I just I'm scared to ask for money, so if anybody wants to give me money, you can. Let's see. Speaking of people giving me money, it's Jupiter conjunct Uranus season in Taurus. That means it's time to change my money moves. My money moves have been baby steps my whole life. And so when this conjunction happens right over my sun, I'm not saying I'm going to level up, but y'all can make some plays. I'm going to speak confidently into the world that I'm going to be killing it after the end of this conjunction. But right now we are in the prelude. We're in the before time. We are also approaching a conjunction with Venus and Neptune at the end of Pisces. Both of those planets are very happy in Pisces. They're exalted and the modern ruler of the sign, so they're having a grand old time. I think this is the most beautiful type of conjunction that Neptune can make, because Neptune is can be a deceptive little asshole sometimes, and Venus is the happier way to be deceived, the blissfully unaware, or the blissfully unrealized, or the bliss of the dream state kind of thing. Speaking of which, I want to pivot now to our card draw. Yeah, let's just go to that. Let's go. We're about to be in a Venus hour, so I'm going to pivot into... Oh, I'm going to do tarot card today. Doing tarot cards today. Got my labradorite. Maybe I can get it to flash for you. Maybe it's feeling shy. Oh, sounds so good. Raw labradorite. Oh yeah, my fingers are really dirty because I got dirty and played in the dirt today. I got to make a garden bed and play in the dirt, and I will take any excuse to just run my fingers through healthy, smelly, good, fresh soil. It should not smell stinky. It should smell fresh. It should smell like beets and ozone and thunderstorms and minerals. That's how soil should smell. If you think dirt should smell stinky, you've only smelled dirt and trash. You haven't smelled soil. So learn what soil smells like, and you'll realize it is the best smell on Earth because it is the smell of Earth. Okay. Let's get a little tarot card drawing, shall we? Feeling good. We're about to go into Mercury retrograde tomorrow. I didn't even mention that because I didn't want to bring it up. But it's got to be said. I am speaking as confidently as I can with this Aries Mercury about to go into Aries Mercury retrograde. We're going to do a great thing. We're going to have a fun time. It's going to be so fun. I have so much energy. So much energy right now. So much energy that I just want to... Oh, and there goes a jumper. Who do we have? The Ace of Pentacles. Wow. Me over here with so much energy talking about how much I love the earth and the smell of soil, and the Ace of Pentacles upright jumps out. Y'all, I think you're about to pay me money. You know, I think somebody's about to drop a fat stack of cash into my Venmo account. Somebody better be, because I do not have my rent money, and tomorrow is April 1st. So it's going to come from somewhere, right, guys? Right, guys? Right. Do y'all see in the background of this card? They got a beautiful archway made of flowers and vines with a nice little mountain view in the background. And in the foreground are some lilies. I believe lily of the valley is what they're supposed to represent, but I could be wrong. That is also the birth month flower for Tauruses born in May. I am a Taurus born in May. If you're watching, drop your sign and your birthday in the comments, and you'll also get the Ace of Pentacles coming your way. Ace of Pentacles, new material things, new material gains. It's upright, so we're not looking at losses. Y'all who are watching, thank you. Welcome to the stream. I do a card pull for the cosmic weather. That's how this is related to weather. Today's weather tonight. We already went over the volcanoes, earthquakes, weather storms, atmospheric storms, solar storms, planetary alignments, and now we are asking the universe, the beyond the planets, what is the cosmic weather? What is happening? The cosmic weather is the Ace of Pentacles. Let's see what our other... No, actually, when I was about to put these cards away, they said that they had something else for me. So I'm gonna ask them again what the next card the cosmos wants to say is. I just like to listen for what we need to hear. And it came out upright. It is the Eight of Pentacles. So we have the Ace of Pentacles and the Eight of Pentacles today. That feels really good. Feels really like opportunistic, feels like hard work will be paying off soon. Maybe I'm going to finish my haircutting video and upload it and it's going to go viral. Maybe you are going to finally get that promotion. Maybe you will finally sell a big piece of artwork you've been working on for a long time. Maybe you're finally going to get appreciated for all the work that you put in so far in the year. I have encountered a lot of people whose timelines have been launching their pilots this springtime. In the past month, I've worked on 3 different shows that all identified themselves with the word, "This is the pilot episode," or the words, "This is the pilot episode." I feel like it takes a lot of work just to get to the pilot. This is pilot energy. This is all the years of hard work you had to get in order to be able to even film the pilot, pitch the pilot, do the initial show, all the work you had to do in the background to be able to have this new opportunity. So this doesn't seem like something new or secret. This seems like something that you're well aware of what's happening, because you've been working really hard on it. And I'm not saying it's going to pay now, but I think it's going to become a more material reality now. Let's get one final bottom of the deck card. Back to our reversed 9 of Swords. 9 of Swords reversed. We got this the other day when we were talking about really significant, the significations of dreams and what keeps you up at night, and trauma and the things that weigh on the back of your mind that keep you looking like this sad little sleepy man, just crying in your bed at night, or just up at night like, man, wish I could sleep or cry, but I can't because I can't feel anything. I have all these fucking swords around me and I'm still not edgy enough. It's all the thoughts all at once. So many thoughts all at once. You have so many thoughts going on. They are internal. Maybe we're going to take that energy and make it manifest with this 8 of Pentacles and Ace of Pentacles energy. But I don't know, y'all. Hopefully this is feeling as good for you as it is for me. But for right now, I'm feeling that this is a pretty happy Easter, a pretty happy, maybe there was like the trauma of a crucifixion, of a going through a trial in the desert, of 40 days and 40 nights in the desert, being tempted by the devil and having really low points. But maybe also that's how you get a resurrection. Maybe you have to go through the dark night of the soul, and that's the hard work you've been working on with your 8 of Pentacles energy. And now you get new life, the Ace of Pentacles energy. Maybe we're toiling for a reason and you weren't just a victim the whole time. Maybe you're not a victim of fate. Maybe everyone is victimized in this earthly lifetime, and that is the material that you get to build a beautiful story out of. You get to make this an awesome plot line that you can then cash in on. You got all these fucking trauma dreams, all right? That's fine. You feel traumatized. You can be aware of the violence that's happened to you and that you have inflicted on the world. You can be aware of the violence of every action needed to do to survive. But you're also allowed to capitalize on it. You're also allowed to find your survival out of that. After all survival comes from destruction and creation. And if you don't have anything you want to destroy in your life, like negative energy, how are you going to create? Okay. I'm just saying, you can't make a piece of art without ruining a blank sheet of paper. Okay? Your innocence, purity, virginal morality, your not being taken advantage of, or being made to do things that you didn't want to do, that is all your perspective as the blank sheet of paper being turned into an artwork. And you can either reject the artwork, peel up, like destroy the piece of paper yourself. You can destroy yourself in like protest of being painted on, like a crappy piece of flimsy paper getting watercolor on it. Or you can realize that you were a really thick, heavyweight watercolor paper in the first place, and you were made for all of this trauma, and you actually don't just want to be a watercolor. You want somebody to also cut you up and glue you into pieces, into shapes, and make it something even better. I think that we are all so loved by our creator and universe, but we are given the gift of pain in this lifetime in order to understand what it would be like to not be loved and to be able to appreciate love. And not that you deserve pain, but you deserve so much love that you deserve to be able to perceive it. And God or source or energy or just the whatever you want to call it, whatever caused us to be in perfect alignment that created human awareness, did that so that we could see how beautiful it is to be loved in comparison to not being loved. So if you're feeling the pain of not being loved, it's a gift, but not because you deserve to not be loved. It's because you deserve to be loved so much that you deserve to know how much you're loved, because you can't know how much you're loved unless you know how possible it is to not be loved. Okay. That's all for tonight. Just that little message, just a teensy little message of all my spiritual beliefs ever. I just gave you my nine swords of philosophy. And now we're all going to go cry in our beds about it. And then, yeah, Eight of Pentacles, Ace of Pentacles. It's coming. It's coming. It's coming. Come on, baby. Show me the big money. Mama needs a new rent payment to send to her dad. So we can get out of here soon. We'll get out of here so soon. We'll all get out of here soon. What do I mean by that? Uh-oh. Not gonna tell you tonight. Okay. I'm feeling very spicy tonight, so I'm just gonna play you out. Okay. I love you guys very much. Happy Easter. Enjoy yourself. I love you very much. Thanks